been a minute since I have gotten my hands onto some paper. The last month I've spent kind of pouring back into my apartment here in New York. It had seen better days and I really wanted to spend some time painting and repairing, and listen, it took a little bit longer than I anticipated, but it is done and everything is back in order and I have my desk available and I can't wait to get my hands onto some paper. So this week we're going to do a personal project that's been on hold for some time that I've really been wanting to get to, and we'll see what else we get into. But if you're new here, welcome. I am Alexis. I'm a full-time artist here in New York City. I have a home studio in my Brooklyn apartment, and on this channel I really try to share a little bit of everything. My art and inspiration, life in the city. So if that sounds like something that you're into, I'm truly glad that you're here. Over the next few days, there are quite a few things that I need to get accomplished. I'm gonna get moving because I have about 2 hours until my book club and I have an hour and a half left on my audiobook, and I wanna get started on this project, so let's go. Every June, I create a portrait of Marsha P. and she is considered by many to be the mother of Pride. She was definitely a leader of the Stonewall riots that really led to gay rights being at the forefront of discussion and legislation here in America, and we would be far from where we are today without her. And she is a stunning human, and I just am so thrilled every chance I get to celebrate her. She is a trans rights activist who lived here in New York City, and she and Sylvia Rivera really supported the trans community and fought for the right to exist. I have made a portrait of her every year since the summer of 2019 when I first started creating with paper, and it's been such a joy to not only celebrate her every summer but also kind of see which image of her speaks to me in that moment, and then how my practice evolves from year to year. All right, so I'm making progress and I gotta pause. I did finish my book for book club. We're reading the Humanity Archive and it's really brilliant. It's an audio book, so I don't have, normally with like a hardcover, I'd be able to tell you exactly who wrote it, like boom, but Jermaine Fowler, and it's I don't know, can you see this? That's it. And it says Recovering the Soul of Black History from a Whitewashed American Myth. And it's wonderful. He dives really, really deep into all kinds of history. Right now it's just parts 1 and 2 because it's like a 400-page book, and if it's anything more than that, we have trouble finishing it in time. So finished about half of the book so far. Excellent. I would recommend grabbing a hard copy of the book if you're going to dive into it, just so you can go back and easily reread sections, because there is a lot of information in there. But it's almost 7 and book club is at 7:15, so it's too late for some coffee. I'm going to make some tea and I'm going to get set up and we're going to do some book club, and then tomorrow I'm going to get Marsha completely done and I'm really looking forward to it. And then Friday, I've got a date with Wallace in the city. I don't know if I've mentioned Wallace here before, but he is another one of my dear friends that I met in that artist cohort that I was a part of 2 years ago. And y'all have met a few of them. Hollis is one, Anna from Anna Parade, she was in a video. She's another friend. And Wallace is a phenomenal illustrator, like New York Times bestseller illustrator. He also has written and illustrated a couple of his own books. When Cinder Met Ella, and I don't know if it's Little Red Riding Hood, but it's like a variation of Little Red Riding Hood. And they're fairly queer tales. They're just wonderful, wonderful. Just the most beautiful, whimsical, just enjoyable illustrations. But yeah, he's gonna be in town and I can't wait to see him. Friday, we're gonna go to a show, and then I'm just gonna, you know, see what else unfolds. But let's get this tea going and let's get set up for book club. I am so tired. I started painting this apartment before I went to meet my sister. It was like a little over a week of painting, and then I spent like 10 days in California, just shy of 10 days in California, helping with my nephew, which was a lot. I don't have kids, and there's a reason for that. As soon as I got back at like, I don't know, I think we got into the apartment at like 1 a.m. So like Sunday night, Monday morning, and jumped out of bed at like 11 a.m. on Monday and started painting again, and painted like another 10, 11 days. But I mean, painted this entire apartment. So maybe not every wall, but definitely the entire trim, and lots of repairs. Painting is like very physical, and I knew this, but like I've only ever done like a room or so at a time. So like doing the entire apartment, life's been so busy. I am tired, and I am not good at taking days, because when you're self-employed, you're always kind of moving, right? I don't know. I took some time off to get the apartment up to date, and now it's time to like get back into the work. And honestly, I just want to go and sit on Rockaway Beach for like one afternoon, and then go to Caracas and get an arepa and a frozen sangria and just like read a book, and then I'll be ready to kick some ass. But right now, I tell you what, I am so tired. But I feel really good with all the work that was done in the apartment, and honestly, I really cannot wait to make more things with paper. I've had some really large pieces in mind, and I just have not had the time to kind of, I don't know, take them from ideation to execution, and I'm excited to kind of play with that. But before I meet with Hollis next month, I need to hold myself accountable and start one of those big pieces and just reach out to some people about my illustration. So all the things, lots of things that need to get done, lots of things that are kind of like in the works, but getting this apartment done was a huge thing, and it feels really good. I feel like we haven't had a book club in a minute. Oh, I know why. We were supposed to have one in June and life just got really, wait, this is June. We were supposed to have it 2 weeks ago. I think the 16th. Life got really, really busy, so we like pushed it back. So we haven't had book club in a minute. And you know, the last fiction book I read was The Midnight Library, which I mentioned in one of my Artist Way videos. I really, really enjoyed that one. And for my birthday, I ordered myself a book. I've been really wanting to read Sally Rooney because I love Irish literature. And so I'm gonna read Normal People. I can't wait to dive into I really want some fiction because I listen to a lot of podcasts and I read a lot of nonfiction. And this year I challenged myself to read more fiction, and it is time. It is time. So maybe I'll take my Normal People Sally Rooney to Rockaway one of these days. But if you are reading anything that you're really enjoying, let me know, because I am always kind of on a hunt for authors that are solid and books that are really enjoyable. So keep me posted if you've got a recommendation. All right, so I'm gonna wait. This water is about to boil and I'm gonna get this steeping, and then we're gonna get logged in like 10 minutes for book club. So let's get you set up and talk about some books. Time and time again. And then that one quote, there's no, democracy can't last. It like inevitably eats itself. And so people will uphold and be like, we're democratic and we're great and like we are the example. And it's like, no, because power always corrupts. And so like you'll say like we're a democratic nation, but eventually that power will corrupt and then it collapses. And I feel like that's absolutely what we're like experiencing. Yeah. Where I'm like, oh great. I really appreciated how he just like pointed out hypocrisy time and time again. And you know, even like how, going back to Egypt for a moment, how like white people, so Westerners, can't accept that you had people of color throughout history who were like magnificent. I don't know how often within insecurity people will put others down to make themselves feel better. And I feel like in my mind, I'm like, that is what white supremacy is. Like there's like this inferiority, like insecurity, this like desperation for power. And so it's just this constant like tearing away of the dignity of and like the history of it. I think that that's why destroying people's histories is such a powerful weapon that is used. And that's why we see it happening time and time again, where it's like any time that there is somebody who is desperate for power and to expand their reach, they will not only destroy like the humanity of the people, but they'll destroy the history of the people, because then the victor can rewrite it, right? And it's like records, buildings, and communities to this day are being destroyed because there's so much power that exists within. Right. I think that's like, I mean, they have, even thinking about like our indigenous people and like when they made it illegal to speak in the indigenous languages. And so then like histories are lost, practices are lost. And then it's like, if you lose your connection to that, and if you lose your understanding to that, that's when those systems of oppression can thrive, because they're like, well, we've got an answer and it just so happens that it like benefits us, you know? But I even think about like throughout history how those in power, like they pillage, right? And so it's like all of these amazing artifacts from ancient cultures and civilizations from around the world are in these white museums. And they're like, look at this amazing thing, you know, but it's an anomaly, you know? It's like, no, it's not. But it's also like how often those in power will completely destroy. And so then there's no, not even just like scrolls or what have you. Like I keep thinking about like the Library of Alexandria burned down. I'm like, how much history could have existed within that? And they were like, nope, it's completely gone. And like maybe there were documents about how they built the pyramids and the amazing accomplishments of the people, you know, and it's all just gone. And then white people can sit here and be like, how was that possible? Well, we can't fathom it and we weren't able to do that, so there's no way that they could do it. Like, oh my gosh. I don't know, but just like the dehumanization that takes place. Systems of power will always do what they can to dehumanize and to strip culture and history. And I mean, that was such a small thing, but I feel like it kept weaving throughout the book. That's how we've been like conditioned. And it's like, because Western cultures have totally done whatever they wanted and continue to like manipulate governments to create instability, you know, to control resources within the continent of Africa. It's like and you think about, like, he talked about it so many times too, about how like knowledge is power. And it's like there is something to accessing these histories and reading books like this, because they don't want us to. And I feel like there's a reason why we weren't taught these things. Alright, so today we're gonna get Marsha done, and I have to take an order to the post office. So I'm gonna go do that. I'm gonna grab some coffee, and then we'll get her finished up just in time for the end of June, and then we'll see what the rest of the week holds. But that is the goal for today, and I'm feeling really good that it's gonna get done. So let's get moving. Let's grab some coffee. Let's take this to the post office, and then let's get our hands back into some paper. All right, order is in the mail, and I got the coffee. Now I'm gonna finish Marsha. I just started a new audiobook, Housemates. I've heard good things, so I'm taking a chance on it. I'll keep you posted. And my Sally Rooney books came in the mail today, so I'm pretty excited. I have all of these books to keep me company this summer, but I'm gonna get this audiobook going in my ears. I'm gonna get Marsha done. Then I'm going to, I think, just take the rest of the evening to relax. Let's get her finished. All right, so we got Marsha done yesterday, and I've had a pretty full day so far, just like taking care of business. I am going to go meet Wallace in Williamsburg and then take a train to the city. We're gonna go to a show tonight in celebration of Pride, and I'm very much looking forward to it. I'll take you along on part of that adventure. So before I met up with Wallace, I remembered that there is a Marsha P. Johnson State Park here in Brooklyn, and within that renaming, they've also done a lot of work to celebrate her throughout the space. And as you saw when we walked in, there was that beautiful flower arch, which is just a tremendous tribute to her. And throughout the park, you will see that there are all of these plaques set up with information about who she was and trans rights activism here in New York City, and it's just truly a tremendous honor. There's also a little beach area where you can see a straight shot into Manhattan, and it was just full of families of all different backgrounds and ages, and it was just a really wonderful way to spend some time in our community. I want to thank you for spending your time with me. I truly am so honored every time you watch one of my videos. If you found enjoyment or value here, I would truly appreciate it if you gave a thumbs up. That helps YouTube know to send it out to others who might also find value here. And if you would like to follow along as I rebuild my life after an extreme case of burnout to be a full-time artist here in New York City, a life that is full of creation and joy and sustainability and just all the good things, I would be truly honored if you subscribed. We have a very small but growing community here, and I am just so thrilled that each and every one of you are here. I cannot wait till I get to know you a little bit better in the comments as we continue to grow and as we continue to develop our community in this little corner of the internet. But thank you for being here. And lastly, whatever time of day you've watched this, I hope it's been a kind one. Until next time.